Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I want to thank you so much for clicking on this video and joining me today. So, before we get into this video, if this is the very first video you're watching on my channel, I want you to give a quick idea of how things work around here. So basically, for every video we choose a subject. For example, we're right now learning HTML, and for example, today we're going to be talking about all of these. Now, it might seem a bit intimidating that we're going to be talking about all of these tags and all these elements, but here's the thing: each one of these is like super basic stuff, so don't worry about it. But basically, in every video we talk about take a certain aspect, certain part of whatever that we're learning. For example, right now we're learning HTML in order to become a web developer, and we take that and we basically dissect it and learn what it's about. Then we try to do some exercises, and then finally we try to do some projects to really learn and understand it. And of course, you have to keep putting the work, keep putting the effort. You have to keep exercising on your own after you watch this video, or you might even have to rewatch this video a couple of weeks later, a couple of days later, just get a quick refresh, so you don't forget everything. And yes, but over time, once a couple months go by and keep putting the work, you will eventually get pretty decent at this. So don't worry about it if you forget anything right a couple of days after learning it. It's okay, it's very natural. Like, these are very complicated, hard to remember stuff, so it's okay, don't worry about it. Right, so with that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the B element right here. So first of all, what does this even do? What's it used for? The B element is used to make your text bold, right? So for example, let's write something here. Let's say hello world, and let's save that. And let's run that and see what it looks like. So we should get our hello world in bold text. Hey, we're hello world in bold text. And if we remove the B element, it will just hello world in normal text. Like, let's just type, for example, hello world again, save it, rerun, and you see we get it in bold text. But I should also clarify that this isn't very ideal. This isn't a very ideal tag that you want to use. Another way you can get the same result is without using the B tag and instead using CSS. Now, how do you use CSS to make that happen? Well, here's the thing: you can also make it bold text using font weight. Now, what is font weight? It's right here. We have I use the body right here, but it would be probably better if I just said the B tag, right? So now I want to make the B tag, and I did this so that it's a comment. I can just remove this right here, and it looks normal. That's why its color changed. So here we go. The B tag now has the font weight bold, right? So for example, if I wanted to change this hello world to bold, I can do the same thing like this. And if I just cut that, put it over here, and let's make this P, for example, right? I'll just save that. Now if we go and rerun this, okay, hold on, save this. Okay, here we're. They're both in bold text. Of course, I use the uppercase letter H for the first one, and that's why it looks different. But yeah, as you can see, it turned our second hello world into a bold. It turned into a bold hello world. So that was the first one, and I would highly recommend you that you use CSS instead of just using the bold tag or the B tag. I'll just comment this for now. Okay, so this is how you comment, by the way. It's super simple. You see, we make comments in a lot of different programming languages. But for example, this is the same way you comment in Java if you've ever written Java code. The next one we're going to be talking about is the I tag, or the I element right here. So what does this do? Well, here's the thing: a lot of people use this tag to make their text italic. If you want to just make your text italic, don't use the I tag, right? There's a much better way, much more efficient way to do that, and it's right here. I just remove the comment part again, make it normal code, right? So you just go a font style, and then you just choose italic, and basically what that does, it just makes your text italic, right? But here's the thing, there's another thing that this I tag is used for. The I tag is used for, for example, let's say you have a part of your text that's from another language, that's maybe in Russia or Chinese or anything like that, or it's a phrase or something like that that's different from your normal text. If you actually do the description for it right here, the I element represents a stand of text that is an alternate voice or mood, or otherwise offset from the normal prose in a manner indicating a different quality of text, such as, and so on. So yeah, as I said it before, if you want to just make your text italic, this is a much better way to do it. But if you want to make your text italic and do all this other stuff, then use I. And lastly, we have the U. Now this is pretty easy to guess what it does, but in case you couldn't tell, this is used for underlining. For example, I want to say again hello world again, and it should, if you save this, rerun it, we should have an underline hello world. Now here's the thing, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that we've talked about the anchor tag, right, or the A tag. What that does is that it links, for example, you have a text inside your element, the A element, and it links to another web page or something like that, and that also adds an underline to the text. So you want to make sure that you don't mess this up. That, for example, when your user sees that something has an underline, that's not the same thing as something that's clickable. As we see, you can't click this because it's not an A element. It's done by using the U element. And there is another way to actually do this, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, so as I was saying, another way to add underline to your text is by going with text decoration. So here's how that looks like. Let's just remove our comment part and make it normal code, and here we are. We have our P, which was just a normal hello world right here, and we want to make this add an underline to this text. So what we do is we just go write text decoration and then choose underline. We could even choose overline if you want to, like this overline. I'll save that and run that and see what it looks like. Right, so we added overline, we could add underline, and it's just that easy. There's the underline. So here's a little trick that you might not know, and let's just write an A tag, and we can have it linked to, I don't know, for example, let's just go google.com, right? Let's just go google.com, copy and paste it, put it in here, so Google, like that. So let's go over here, and so we get Google right here, and we can add the BR tag to add an extra line. So for example, if I save this and run it again, see, it moved, the hello world moved over to the next line, and we can even do this twice if we wanted to put even more space, like this. Save, run. See, there's not two lines. So let's say we want to have Google right here, but we don't want this part, this underline part. How do we remove that actually? Well, it's really simple. We just go over to the style part and we just choose the A tag. We add a style to it. Now here's the interesting part. We're gonna go with text decoration again. Excuse me. And we're gonna go with none, I believe. Yeah, none. So let's see what happens. As you see, we can still click on it and it still takes us to Google, if you can load it, but it no longer has the underline. So you can do this if you want to. I would recommend you do this. Underline is just kind of unnecessary in my opinion. And yeah, so that's what U does. Let's move on to a strong. A strong is basically just, it also makes your text bold, but as you can see right here, it shows the importance of the text that inside of it. For example, we want to say we write let's say we write a paragraph and we want a certain word for that paragraph to be very important. You know, we want to put make it where that part of our paragraph is in bold text, and also it's more important part of the text. And another one is emphasize. Emphasize again, it doesn't make your text bold like strong, but it basically puts emphasis on your text. Now, this stuff is useful for when someone is searching for something on the web. You know, for example, someone is searching for something and the search engine, whatever it may be, for example, Google, can use these to find out if what the user is searching for is related to the content of your website. Next, we have Q. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna just talk about what these do super quickly. Q, it basically adds quotes. You know, for example, we're gonna quote somebody famous. You know, let's say, I don't know, maybe like a Steve. Let's just put a P paragraph, right? And let's say, you know, Steve Jobs. And you know, what did Steve Jobs say? You know, for example, let's go with if like this. If this was the last day of your life, would you do what you're about? Did he say this? I don't know, man. let's just run with this. Let's just take this. I mean, we want to put this part in. We want to make this part like a quote. So let's just cut that. Actually, we kind of screwed that up. Let's put this over here and let's cut this part again. Let's put it over here. Let's save this. Let's pray to God it actually works. And here we are. It's in quotes, right? It's double quotes, and it has an underline. Yeah, okay. So we could also just remove the underline if you wanted to, like I just showed you. But here's what I talk about. Here's we have another one called blockquote. Blockquote does something similar, but it looks different in execution. So here we're gonna just try to do the same thing, but this time with blockquote. Let's copy. You want to use then this normal quote for Q for short text. You know, for example, if you want to quote something that's not too long, let's say you have, you know, like a full-on paragraph, you know, 4 lines long. You want to use like, let's make it like this. Let's do this a bunch of times, right? Let's save this. See what it looks like. Right, so it's the same quote. It's just, you know, since it's longer, we put it in a block quote instead of a normal quote. And what it does, it just puts a little space right here. You can see it right here, so that it's different. You know, it looks different from other text you have on your screen. And yeah, so something important to note about block quotes and the difference. Another one of the differences that block quote has with normal quote is that block quote isn't inline. So what I mean by that, if you notice, we put our Q inside a paragraph, right? And then after that, we added the BR to, you know, move on to the next line. And what that does is that, you know, it moves the next part, which is our block quote, to the next line. But here's the thing. For our block quote, we didn't put a BR at the end of it. And why is that? Because block quote isn't inline text, right? It's outlined. What that does is mean that the text that comes after, whatever that comes after our block quote, it's already gonna have it's already gonna be moved to the next line. It's not gonna be in the same line as our block quote. But if we were to use quote, it would be in the same one. That's why we put the BR there, and that's why block quote doesn't have a BR after it, right? So yeah, pretty easy stuff. And then we have a small. It just makes your text small. Like, for example, let's do this. Let's go something like this, like strong. And then go hello. And then go word. So let's save this. As you can see right here, it goes hello world. And yes, so here's the problem. See, because both a strong and a small are inline, meaning that they don't move the next, whatever comes after them doesn't move on to the next line. You know, what we have on our next line, which is our aberration, which is what I'm going to talk about, it stays in the exact same line. So how do we fix that? We just add the BR at the end of it. Super easy. Bada boom, bada boom. Save that. Run it again. See it move on to the next one. Again, if you want to put more, so you can just add another BR at the end of it. So our last one, our last tag is aberration, or ABBR. So here's what it's used for. Basically, we have our HTML right here, and we say HTML. What HTML is short for hypertext markup language, and CSS is short for what was it? Cascading style sheets, I believe. So here's the important part: when you write the abbr, it doesn't do anything on its own unless you add the title. Unless you add the title to it. When you add the title to it, when you actually hover your mouse over it, it shows whatever the context of the title is, whatever that we put inside our title actually. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for making it so far into the video. Right now, I should tell you that you pretty much learned what these basic tags do. But here's the thing, you won't really learn them or remember them well unless they're used inside the project, right? So here's what we're gonna do. And this is gonna be the format that I'm gonna be using for all of my videos from now. We're gonna just talk about something and give some very basic idea of how they work, and then we're gonna show some examples in the video. And in the next video, we're gonna be making a project with us. So we're gonna be making a project in our next video where we use all of these tags that you've learned in this video and put them to good use. So yeah, make sure to definitely watch that. It'd be kind of pointless to watch this video and then not watch the project one, because if you want to just have a quick refresh, this is good. But if you want to actually learn and if you're learning this stuff for the first time, I definitely recommend that you watch the part 2 of this video. So you've made it to the end of the video. First of all, I want to thank you so much for watching until the very end, and I want to ask you to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and turn notification for whenever I'm uploading my videos. Lastly, again, thank you so much for watching till the very end. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you had a good time, and I will see you next time.